Well, they...
Wow, dude. Wow.
They
Wow.
is
Wow.
she.
Wow. Wow.
Sorry. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Wasted Local Talent. I don't know who is in this interview.
You did the interview.
Coco and June, I just remembered.
Yep.
You schmo.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Coco and June.
This was one of Chris's first few interviews that we've had.
It was. It was your second interview.
It was my second. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cecily would be here, but she's like over in fucking
Denmark.
Oh, is that where she is?
Something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, she's
I just thought she was at like a hipster festival somewhere in like Utah.
in Utah.
I didn't realize she was in another country. Well, that's awesome. That makes a lot more sense then, based on the pictures that she's been posting. I was really confused.
Denmark?
It's a real European vibe to this Midwestern town here.
Crazy. Crazy. See, we had Coco and June. I wasn't a part of this interview, so I don't know what they do.
God. They is she, and she does paintings.
Positive artwork
positive
inspired
artwork.
by, West Virginia.
Yeah. But I think she also does like some apparel and stuff.
Yeah,
too.
she also has got a line of apparel that's focuses on a lot of positive phrases and things like that, picking people up.
She made me feel very happy.
Yeah, she was.
She's like real big on positive energy.
Yeah.
And I'm not. So that was like...
Me too.
It was a good change of pace for me.
It was a good change of pace.
Spending so much time around you and Daniel just really brings me down.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
How do you think we feel?
There's no doubt.
So here's what she sent me to say.
What did she want? What did she want us to say about it?
She says, Coco and June is a company dedicated to spreading positivity and kindness through art and lifestyle goods.
I feel like we hit that pretty much nail on the
Yeah,
head.
man.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was good. Like, I was looking at it and I was
I
like,
was shooting from the hip.
Yeah.
This was like
Yeah.
6 weeks ago, bro.
She also wants you guys to mention how gorgeous she is.
She is very gorgeous.
She's a beautiful
Yeah,
lady.
Beautiful lady.
She is, yes.
So,
Beautiful lady, sweet lady.
Even with the flu, she was still stunning.
Yeah, she was, and particularly upbeat because man
Through
flu,
the
everybody
flu, man.
knows.
Yeah.
I turned into miserable subhuman.
I would have walked in here with a sleeping bag wrapped around my body, shuffling like some weird human caterpillar.
Half cocked on whiskey from too many hot toddies.
it's the only way to survive the flu.
I think we
man.
talked about hottie toddies in the
We
episode,
did. We
didn't
did talk about hottie toddies, about how they were crucial.
I decided to listen to it, actually, myself.
I actually broke down my whole sinus infection remedy, which you have to tune in later for that.
Yeah, tune in to hear what Chris Rabb does whenever he's congested.
When I'm feeling
Because
a little,
I'm sure everybody wants to hear that.
feeling a little gunky, are you? Take it to a 5-step plan. Get that solved real quick.
All right, so we got to the so's. So, all right, so we got a couple things we got to go over. We don't have to go over them. That makes me sound like a fucking teacher.
Thunder Prince.
Thunder Prince. Jed, tell me a little bit about Thunder Prince.
Thunder Prince is a little company up in Morgantown, West Virginia, and they produce all types of goods and apparels, and they are a screen printing company. So any image or text or phrase or picture of your dog that you would like to have printed on a piece of fabric and or textile, they can accommodate you.
Burlap sack.
Yeah, they got it.
They'll do it.
Yep.
Burlap fucking sack.
You can hit them up on Facebook, Thunder Prince WV, Instagram, Thunder Prince WV, I think also.
Yep.
And then they also have the Thunder Supply Co.
Yes.
that you can check out for all of your supply needs.
Yeah, and if you use the promo code Thunder13, you'll get 15% off.
I'm glad
your
you said
first
that because
order.
I thought it was 10.
Nice.
It's probably 10. They'll give you a percentage off your
It is a
order.
You will
Percentage
receive a discount
Out of 100.
Out of 100. A percentage off of 100. Could be 1, could be 15, could be 13. It's probably 13.
Oh, yeah. I think it
It might be 13.
was it
I
13?
don't remember.
Yeah.
It's been so long. But yeah, you'll get a discount.
You will get a discount.
Take it or leave it. Don't use it, whatever.
Use
Like,
it or lose it.
You should use it. It'd be great.
Meg
Thunder
rates.
Thunder 13.
She makes great shirts. They're
She does.
comfy.
Yeah.
I've stole several 13 Palms t-shirts from this place.
Quite a few.
Megan and Matt.
Megan and Matt Stewart.
Love you guys.
It's not
Shout out.
not the worst idea I've ever had.
Also, if you're listening to this, please give your dogs a kiss.
Yes. Indiana Bones and
Kenny Loggins.
Kenny Loggins.
Kenny
Doggins,
Doggins.
yeah.
Kenny Doggins.
That is hilarious.
Their
Kenny-
dogs are amazing.
Kenny's the most
Love him.
handsome little boy.
Bones.
They always get so upset that like they like jump all over me when I'm there. I'm like, no, let it happen. It's okay.
Please.
Please let it
If
happen.
this is how I die,
Yeah, I'm okay with it. It's fine.
I am fine. All right, up next, Rabbi, hit us.
We got Love and WV, gentlemen. We got swag inspired by the Mountain State, Appalachia, and beyond. So be sure to check them out on Instagram at lovingwv or search for them on Facebook for Loving WV. All your Appalachian-inspired swag favorites.
They have awesome pepperoni roll shirts and hats and buttons and things like that. They're really
That-
cool. Yeah.
Do they have any John Denver nudes?
I don't know. I'll message them and ask.
It's important.
Yeah, I'm very interested in that as well. Actually, I didn't realize that I was until you said that, but now that I am,
He's not even from West Virginia.
Well, he gets a lot of other credits, so we might as well loop him in there.
We are.
And he's singing about Tennessee.
It's true.
All right, Daniel.
And last but not least, we've got Vertical Vixens Pole Fitness.
Jeez.
Yeah, leave me alone.
A lot of syllables.
Vertical Vixens Pole Fitness. They are a pole fitness company based out of Clarksburg, West Virginia, ran by Maggie and her. Well, like Drew doesn't run it, but Drew is also a beautiful human. They do pole fitness classes. They do chair dancing, boxing classes, things like that. You can get a hold of them on Instagram at Vertical Vixens WV. Let me double check that.
They also give the best hugs.
Oh,
Great hugs.
super hugs.
Great hugs, both of them. Amazing huggers.
But yeah,
crucial.
they've Vertical Vixens WV on Instagram and Facebook. Check them out. They do classes, I think, 5 days a week. And
Yeah, I think
they actually did away with one of their stretch classes that Jed and I were actually going to go to. Something happened, but they
Pretty sure Maggie would still do it for us.
probably. Well, she wasn't in charge of that class. Somebody else was.
Oh.
But I'm really interested in their boxing class because it looks like I see all their videos that they post. It seems very, something that I should probably do to actually not sit on my ass all day. So yeah,
Also, you're getting up there in age, and you need to know how to defend yourself.
I just defend myself
In
from
case
all
you're
the.
mugged.
That's fine. I've got nothing on my body to steal. I'm so poor and fragile. and
Your
old.
bad attitude will defer any attacker.
Yeah, they'll just look at me and be like, I know that he's
Just give him a little
Guy's
sass.
so beaten down.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna bother.
I'm gonna attack. Yeah, I'm gonna attack this guy. Wait a second.
Homeless people are
What's
trying to
there?
give him change.
What's there for the taking?
The homeless people give me change. Speaking of money, we're getting ready to launch our Patreon.
Boom! Give us your money. Give us the money.
It's going to be launching in the next week or so. I know we've mentioned it the past couple of weeks, but we've actually just sat down earlier and hashed out all the tiers, things to give you, some really
brainstormed.
fun, cool like mystery boxes to give you for certain tiers, things like that.
Doing bonus content.
Bonus content. Which actually
Special
just-
segments.
Special segments, yes, a bunch of cool stuff.
Yep.
Do you want to go over some of the stuff over there, Jed? I know you got.
I could do a quick rundown of
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
that we
just
have.
Give it a
here.
rundown.
You don't have to like give the tiers or anything, just like a rundown of like things that we might be offering.
Yeah, sure. So you could get anything from a simple thank you or a customized ringtone for your cellular device to a plethora of new bonus content that we are going to be recording. We're also going to be giving out some wasted local talent apparel
Boom.
of various shapes and sizes and patterns.
Apparel.
Prints,
That means anything from
beanies,
to hoodies,
fingerless gloves,
yeah,
toe
to booty
socks.
shorts, toe sock. Oh my god, that's great. Write that down.
Toe socks. Hold on.
Wasted local toe socks. Oh my god, could we call them Tonys?
Oh my Lord. Yes.
Tony.
Oh, yes. We're also going to have a mystery box where we will include an item from a local business, possibly one that we have featured on this podcast. And also, each of the co-hosts, myself, Daniel, Rabbi, and Cecily, will go to a thrift store and pick out one random item for you.
I'm also gonna put some of my hair in it.
Oh god. We're trying to get people to give us money, not.
It's going to be something similar that you would buy off of the dark web.
And for select few Patreons, we will be making special apparel with the 4 of us on Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
And we will also be giving you a personalized shout out on one of our episodes.
And what is the back of the T-shirt going to say?
It's going to say, "Make America Wasted Again."
Heard it first here under the 13 palm tree shade.
Yeah, if you're getting that shade at 13 palms, bitch. Oh, also, I'm just going to throw this
more
out there. In one of the tiers, you're going to have the opportunity to have me roast your friend's social media account.
That is true. We're going to do that. Offer a roast. We're also going to do some. We're going to try to do some episodes because we always give worst kept secret. Speaking of which, we should probably plug them here in a second.
Oh, I'm going
yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Remember whenever we were going to keep this under 5 minutes?
Yeah. I don't even know how long are we at right now. I don't even fucking know.
13 minutes.
Anyway, but we're going to give worst kept secret, and I'm calling you out right now, Pat, Sean, Ryan.
Who wants
Jared.
some?
The one jacked guy.
Y'all
You're
bitches.
the one dude that skips a leg.
Jacked guy, bearded
To
guy,
bring you in
other band member, another
to
band
the
member.
studio to have a roast off.
Yeah, you want some of
The
this?
wasted local versus worst kept
You
secret.
tired of
roast
what I've
off.
been saying? You want to come get some?
Come get some, Jared.
We're going to have
Come
a
on,
squad
Jared.
off.
I don't think you have enough
My wife versus you.
NO2 supplements.
That would be it. You just bore them with a story. I don't know. Just the stories are the best.
They're the best.
That's what we should
'cause
do.
they're- Oh, my God.
We should give away that too. We should throw it in one of the tiers.
My wife will tell you a story.
Story time with Jess.
They're awful.
They're terrible.
The worst stories ever.
Anyway,
Comedic timing. Just
So we're calling you out, worst kept secret. You come on down to the 13 palm shade and come hungry because we're going to roast that ass.
then make you eat it.
I'm going to make you eat this raw ass.
oh God,
Yeah, you know what it is. I hope they get a coli in this motherfucker.
that's how you get pink eye rab.
We were so clean in the episode, and then the intro is just falling apart.
Well, yeah,
We did such a good job.
we're going to have to probably cut this.
I'd apologize. No, this is like the cleanest worst kept secret
This
plug
actually
we've ever
is
done.
one of the cleanest plugs.
Please take this opportunity to check out their lovely song, Bender, off of their Nuff Said EP and the Confidence Arrogance album.
It's beautiful.
They
iTunes,
love to play
Spotify.
it, request it, DM them on Facebook telling them that you love Bender. You saw him 3 times last year and they didn't play it 1 time and you got a problem.
Have you ever listened to A Day to Remember and thought, this is just a little too heavy for me? I need something like more like Britney Spears. You'd love them.
You'd love worst kept secret. That should be one of the tiers. We should give away wasted local listen to Bender shirts.
Bender 2020.
Bender 2020.
I'm voting
If you have
Bender
any-
2020.
Listen, send us your best idea for a Bender piece of merch.
Yes.
And if we will approve it, whichever one wins, we'll include it in our Patreon.
Boom.
I want a piece of Listen to Bender or Bender's the best song ever. Listen to it and just give us your best thoughts on it. Give us an idea and we'll print it into something.
Also, if you're one of the 4 people that goes to their shows, make sure to call out the song and get them to play it on stage.
Yes.
I know that the 4 if you don't listen to this.
Stand in front of the stage and vigorously shout Bender.
Because when we tried to do it, they told us no.
Yeah, they did.
We just didn't want it bad enough.
That's possible.
I was ready to get up and sing it too. I swear to God, if I'm in a show and they play Bender, I'll sing it.
Nobody wants that, dude.
You're right. They've seen me play.
Daniel Bonner is the king of vocal guest spots. I don't know. As a member of the
Drunken-
local, at the local music scene, I'm gonna have to check you, friend, and tell you that Daniel
were at
Bonner.
Is he the Todd Gurley of vocal spots?
I'm
First of all,
the.
you want to get me fired up?
You were
Yes,
at
he
the.
is
You were,
MVP caliber.
you were at
MVP
the off the record where they did the Blink one, and I got up there and I
was.
I'm a huge fan of Blink 182. That's no lie. I got up there and I was so drunk I forgot the words. the Adam song. I was like, then I got off stage and I'm like, I was like, Sean, can I come back up for another song? Like,
I think you also mentioned fellatio more than you should have.
I don't remember any of that.
Well, PBRs. The PBR haze.
PBIs.
So, Coco and June, get ready.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Jed.
And I'm Chris Rabb.
And this week, we're wasting our talent with...
Emily Kurth from Coco and June.
All right.
Emily, what's going on? How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Just trying to get over a pretty rough cold. So I don't normally...
You got your tea going. You got all these fluids happening.
I got the hot tea. I had hot coffee on the way down. I feel like Christina Aguilera or something. I'm like, honey in my tea. I've got to rest my voice. But... I don't know. It kind of sounds cool, too. Whatever. Anyway.
That's such a go-to thing for my household is hottie toddies.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Feeling sick, hottie toddy.
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't get enough sleep, hottie toddy.
Yeah.
We also drink too much, so.
Well, I'm kind of with you there.
Feeling down on life?
Hottie toddy. So tell us a little bit about your business.
Okay, so Coco and June, I started it about 5 years ago, and it is it's a business dedicated to spreading positivity and kindness through art and lifestyle goods. So I'm a painter, but I'm also a designer of some products like T-shirts and other fun lifestyle goods that spread positivity. So that's my jam.
Do you print all your own shirts right there on the site?
I do not, actually. I just create the design.
Okay.
And send it to the T-shirt company, and then they print it. But I did do some serious research on the shirts because I am kind of a T-shirt junkie and am really weird about things that are uncomfortable. So I don't want anything up in my armpits. I don't want anything hanging tight around my neck or scratchy or anything like that.
How about how difficult it is to find an awesome T-shirt?
No kidding.
That lasts more than 2 or 3 washes?
Right.
I have a graveyard of heavy metal T-shirts that shrink like in the chest and the shoulder area, and the only way that I can wear them is by giving them the old cut off, you know?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I could lay out 14 to 17 T-shirts. They all say that they're large, but they're clearly not the same shirt.
No, I know. And I went through that too. Not with the heavy metal, but I went through a lot of T-shirts.
Just T-shirts in general.
Right,
Yeah, it's tough getting the good one.
Yeah. And then I have 3 sons, and my youngest one is, we laugh because he is so picky about like stuff that feels weird. From the time he was born, he was like that. So it's like, oh, this T-shirt's tight on my neck, or this T-shirt.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
It's like, I'll buy him a shirt and he'll be like, oh, I can't wear this. It's really uncomfortable. I'm like, dude, come on. But he's right. So I did some serious, like the people at the T-shirt company, I mean, they're really nice, but I think they hated my guts because I was like, no, not going to work. We're going to have to try a new one. So it was a lot of trial and error, lot of trial and error. But people say, and I agree with them on this, that they're super comfortable shirts. And I wash mine all the time. I wear them. I teach yoga. I like hot yoga, and I sweat, and they're great. They wash up really nice, and all that jazz.
They don't retain the sweat rings.
No.
Those wash out real nice.
They wash out real nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yes.
I own a lot of black, so
Yeah.
that's a legitimate question for me as a buyer.
Right. They're good.
T-shirts always have that weird way, though, where like you'll get every now and then, it's like probably like 1 in 10 that just lives so much longer than it should.
I know.
I still have T-shirts from like middle school.
I need to purge. This spring, I'm doing a serious T-shirt purge.
You should totally
Which, if you want any
purge.
awesome heavy metal tees, I
Right.
got you, dog.
Yard sale.
Yeah. Well, if they've been around long enough, then they're like retro, so everybody wants them.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Maybe I should do an eBay store
You
for this.
You should.
There might be a
definitely.
market for this. We're going
Yeah.
to talk about it. I have more questions about this, but I won't occupy the podcast.
So you started this thing, you run it.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
What gave you that idea?
Well, I was actually a pretty creative kid and teenager. My mom, though she is an accountant, was a really good artist. My older brother, also really good artist. So I came from a family of a lot of artists. I wouldn't say they were they weren't professional artists, but they were pretty freaking good. And then we all, my brother and I grew up and had to go to college and
Right.
get a job and stuff.
Be
The
adults.
reality, the harsh reality.
Right.
Silencing your dreams forever.
Yes. Crush them. No, anyway. And then I had, I was a teacher for a while, and then I had my kids, and they're all 2 years apart. They're all boys. So I didn't really remember that I could be an artist or that I even enjoyed art because I was just totally busy. Like I didn't have time to
Being mom.
Yeah, it
Mom
was.
life.
Yeah, and then my youngest one, who's now 13, when he went to college, when he went to kindergarten, I was like, okay, what do I do now? And my husband needed a tie rack. And so I made him a tie rack out of this random half door that was left in my garage from the people before us. And I was like, yeah, I like this. I like painting. And so then I remembered that I was kind of a creative person. And then it just all kind of took off from there. And the business has changed a lot in 5 years, but I'm really now into doing a lot of abstract art. But all of my art and my lifestyle goods all focus on positive thoughts. So that's kind of,
A cornerstone.
it really is.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of reasons for that. I mean, I'm just really a believer in, occupying your thoughts with good stuff instead of bad stuff, because you can go down an ugly road if you don't.
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's important if everyone just took a little time to just make something. I think that they would find that they'd be a lot happier as a
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. And this
Whatever
is
that is,
Exactly.
You just want to make a little watercolor painting
or crochet.
break out the Legos and just go crazy, whatever.
Yeah. I
Whatever.
just threw away 9 million Legos.
Threw them out?
My oldest son was like, Mom, he's 18, he's going to college. He's like, Mom, you threw my Legos away? I was like,
That's like a
"Oh,
gold
my
mine.
God." But
Those
they were
those
all
are worth their weight in
mismatched.
gold.
I know.
When's the last time you bought Legos, bro? Because they
Yesterday.
are expensive.
Yesterday,
Yes. Yeah.
Well, then you know the struggle's real.
They are expensive.
They're very expensive.
Some of those kits were like $400. I'm like, dude. But then if you make them once and then you lose the directions, you're screwed.
Oh yeah, yeah. The directions may be as valuable as the pieces themselves.
Yeah. We could have sold our house or sold all of our Legos and bought ourselves a beach house. But
Nice little summer home
yeah,
somewhere.
that never happened.
Oh, did you get a good retirement plan? Yeah, I invested in Legos.
Been buying one every week.
yeah.
One set.
Yeah, that's So tell us about what you sell. More importantly, like a lot of merchandise, a lot of swag.
Oh yeah, swag. Well, I have tank tops, V-necks, sweatshirts. In fact, I have all new designs are coming out in probably the end of January.
Boom.
Yeah, so I added on these new designs. They're a little more modern, but they also have a little bit of my drawing on them. So they're fun like that. So, and then I also am really getting more into the abstract art and promoting that. I also have some wood signs that I do, but just not as much as I used to. So, yeah, it's all on my website, but actually some of the abstract's not there yet, but it's going to be soon.
And where can they find you? Where can they find all these goods?
Okay, so my website is cocoandjune.com. It's COCO and June like the month. And I'm on Instagram at Coco and June and Facebook, Coco and June.
Nice.
Yep.
So do you have a storefront, or do you just do all this from your house?
I do it all from my house, but I do sell some of my work at the Elegant Alley Cat on High Street in Morgantown, and also at Hoot and Howl on Walnut Street in Morgantown. So the Elegant Alley Cat has some of my more traditional especially West Virginia stuff. And then Hoot and How has some of my abstract work.
You've actually had them on Hoot and How.
Yes.
Oh, Stephanie, she's so cool.
I was looking at your website before we did this just to get a little idea. Does a lot of your merchandise center around a West Virginia theme? Is that a big basis of it? That plus the positivity? Are you kind of moving away with that since you're going to the abstract art?
Initially, a lot of my stuff was West Virginia, which I was born and raised here. I love West Virginia. And people, well, here's what I found about West Virginians. They love West Virginia. Like, it's it's like Texans. Texans love their state. West Virginians love their state. And so people love West Virginia stuff. I mean, I do too. I mean, like I said, I'm from here, so I love it here. But it's not as much, I don't have as much as that as I used to. I have a little more, since I'm moving a little more into the abstracts, there's just not a lot of room for that in that. It just doesn't match up. So yeah, I do still have some of my West Virginia stuff, though, for my diehard West Virginia fans.
That's always a go-to, like you said, starting out. Just
Yeah.
sell them some West Virginia stuff.
Yeah.
Get the money rolling.
They love it.
Get it going.
Yeah.
Because I play in a heavy metal band, and we sell merchandise as well. And it's always good to throw some West Virginia. Even if it's a loose association with something West Virginia, people buy that stuff up.
They do, and it's like the outline.
They drink that Kool-Aid all day.
They do, and
all day.
I know, because we really do love our state here. So, yeah, no.
I think I feel like West Virginia has that culture where
Lot of pride.
not a lot of states have like that. Well, let me put it this way: a lot of states have that one thing that they associate with. You know, like Marylanders like always have the crab stickers on their cars. Right. You know, people from Texas, it's the bullhorns and everything, or the Lone Star. You know, they have their one or two things. But in West Virginia, it's like we have so many things that are very unique to West Virginia, like pepperoni rolls. You know, you advertise pepperoni rolls on virtually anything, and people are going to go nuts for it.
Yeah.
They go nuts.
And then, like, we have so much cryptozoology here.
Huge.
Like the what was it? Is it the Grafton Monster?
The Grafton Monster. Actually, I recently just got an Amazon Prime subscription, and there was an unbelievable amount of like West Virginia monster documentaries.
Oh yeah,
there.
it's huge.
Like the Mothman.
The Mothman.
Everything. It was
Yeah.
there's a huge counterculture
Yes.
of it.
Yeah.
Huge counterculture
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
But you're right. There's a lot of just one things that you could only find in the mountain state.
Yeah.
Where our logo really is our oddly shaped state in itself, and
Yeah.
everyone just gravitates towards that like a flag.
Well, also West Virginians have like historically had to be pretty scrappy people. Like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And also,
Very resourceful. 'Cause
yeah.
I mean, essentially, our history was started being, all right, you're on your own.
Yep. And like,
Good luck.
yep, exactly. And, you know, we've had to really fight for everything we've ever had in this state. So people are proud of it. And I am too. So, yeah.
Yeah.
We're the original rednecks.
We always take a lot of pride in telling everyone we're from Morgantown, West Virginia. And they're always like, oh, is that like near Richmond?
Right, I know. I have a cousin.
Richmond.
Where is that in Virginia?
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
how close is that to Richmond? It's like, dude, that's like 6 hours away.
I know.
It's not close at all.
I know. It's ridiculous.
I'm closer to Cleveland.
I know. It's ridiculous.
That's what it is, though.
Yeah,
Hate
whatever.
is going to hate.
Yeah.
So move into the abstract.
Yeah.
Away from what you were doing before. Do you find that it's more rewarding as an artist?
It is. And here's what happened. I was doing a lot of custom wood signs for people. And I liked that because, you know, it meant a lot to people. But it also got to the point where I couldn't really be an artist. I was just more like using my skill that I had, you know, mastered. And so the abstracts are like just totally, you know, like I'll just go downstairs and just go to it. And
Stream of consciousness.
yeah. And it's like really, really awesome. I just love it. And it's really good for me, like mentally, you know, like I just finished a couple of paintings for my office, and I was totally, while I was painting them, working through a conflict that I'd been dealing with. And I was like, at one point I was like, these are going to suck because I'm so like in a negative state of mind right now. And then by the end of it, the conflict, I spoke with the person, the conflict had been resolved. And I hung those up and I was like, I love these, you know? And it was like, so it was totally like, they say therapy, use art therapy and all that.
I'm a big believer in that.
Yeah.
Like exercise.
Yes.
And even if it's just keeping a journal.
Yeah.
And that's as creative as you get, just writing what happens in your day.
Yeah.
Huge benefit for people. I think just being able to put your emotions into something is what it's really all about. That's the secret sauce.
And then I painted this morning, I just painted a painting of my oldest son had his senior pictures done a while back, and it was the most beautiful sunset I've ever seen. I'm not kidding, in my entire life. And I said to the photographer, a friend of mine, Amberly Christie, I said, Amberly, look at that sunset. And so she had Robbie jump over the electric fence and we were out at my in-laws' farm and she took pictures of him, with the sunset in the background. And I was like, this is amazing. And so this morning I went downstairs and painted my rendition of that sunset. And then I actually, not always, but a lot of times I add words to my abstracts. So whatever I'm feeling at the time. And so, and I'm going to get a little not emotional, but this is kind of woo-woo. So I put on this painting of this sunset that I painted, be still and know, because I've been so my son's going to college. This is hard, it's emotionally hard for a mom when her son or any child is going off to college. And so that sunset was so peaceful and it was such a feeling of it's going to be okay, And so that's what I painted this morning. And again, there you go with the therapy. It's it just makes you feel better sometimes if you can kind of work out your emotions through art.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I feel like that's why a lot of people even pursue any kind of, counseling or it's just some place where you can feel uninhibited to put your emotions into. And art is the best place for that.
yeah.
So if everyone listening out there, dare to be artistic.
Yeah.
Dare to be honest about your creativity and use that to make something positive.
Well, and I always say...
It's my beneficial, positive thing
I
to say
like it, Chris.
today.
There you go. I'll make a T-shirt
I'm usually
out
not
of that.
like this. I'm usually not like this.
I know.
Introspective thoughts.
Well, that's so funny because I totally am like this, and I live in a house full of men and boys. I mean, even my dog is freaking male. But it's I'm totally into this kind of stuff, if you can't tell. But I say this to people all the time, what was it that you loved to do as a kid? And just kind of tap back into that. Did you love, I don't know, to play Legos? Did you love to dance? Did you love to ride your bike? Did you love to paint? And if you can just it's hard because we're all so busy and we're so adult that we forget to kind of tap back into that. And when you do, it feels good. It really feels good. Even if you can only do it for 15 minutes here and there, it's cool. It's cool to do. So
I think that if this year has taught us anything in 2018, we've lost a lot of famous, super successful people. And I think that it's proven to me, unfortunately, in a lot of these cases that, these people unfortunately took their own lives. And I think that it proves that success and money is not going to give you anything.
right.
It'll be a high, and it'll be great for a while, maybe for years. But eventually, the come down's coming.
Yeah.
It's what else do you have?
Yeah. Yeah.
Got to get right with yourself.
Got to get right.
Amen.
Got to get tight. New Year's resolution crowd. That one was for you. You can go and sign up.
Oh, man.
New Year's
We're
resolution.
right on the
time.
cusp, aren't we?
Yeah. This is the last.
Everybody's
this is
going
the
to be
last
going
go.
back to the
2018.
gym.
Yeah.
It's a send-off.
I'm not a New Year's resolution person.
No,
No, I
they're
never have
crap.
been.
I just
They're crap.
failed at them so long. I was like, this is bogus. Why would I set myself up for this?
Change is hard, and change takes time. And
Yeah.
I think people put unnecessary expectations on
yeah.
New Year's resolutions, and
Totally.
that's why they
Well,
fail.
and the problem, the what I've always found, the underlying problem with New Year's resolutions is that they give themselves this year-long resolution of, okay, I'm going to lose whatever amount of weight, I'm going to get X amount of a pay raise. I'm going to get that job that I always wanted. But what I think most people never do, and this, in my opinion, is the most important thing for achieving goals, is they never take that long-term goal and then sit down and give themselves short, realistic goals that they can accomplish quickly.
Right.
That way that you're constantly seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. You're knocking out these little goals that are building up towards the end goal. They're just kind of going for it. And then they get lost along the way, and then they give up.
And that game plan is true for anything, no matter what the goal is. Starting a band, losing some weight. It's like, at the end of the week, what can we do realistically? And I think it's about being able to have attainable goals.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
setting those expectations low. I mean, ultimately, you want it to go somewhere big, but you need to have that motivation, because if you're just staring down failure time and time again, that's how you.
It's going to break
why
you.
you quit.
It's going to break you down.
Yeah.
It's that negative, the constant negative pressure. It's just going to weigh you down.
It's
It
that
will.
figure
It
four
will.
leg lock
Yeah.
taking you out. You tapping.
Well, and with business, it's like if I do that all the time. I'm like, oh, well, I should, have this huge goal because that's what so-and-so is doing, And then, but it overwhelms you, and then
Yeah.
you get all freaked out, and then you suck, and you're going to go bankrupt, and everything's going to fall apart. And then it's like, no. Let's just take like minor little steps. I heard this one business lady one time talk about, she's a runner, and she said, if you're running up a big hill, which I would really never want to do, but anyway, if you're running up a big hill, instead of looking at the top of the hill while you're running up, you're looking down at your feet. And if you're like just watching step by step by step, before you know it, you're to the top of the hill. I don't know. She's a marathon runner. I probably would have keeled over halfway there.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
But it does make sense. If you think about it, like you just have to. I've been working really hard on putting together an email marketing strategy, because that's what I need to do in this business. And it's overwhelming, and it's really hard to figure out, and it's technical stuff that I'm just not that good at. But it's like, if I just, instead of for a year, I've been thinking, I'm going to do this, but I never did it because it's just the whole goal of it is too daunting. But once I like sat down and like step by step bullet pointed it out, it's coming. I mean, it's
Make
happening.
a list.
Yeah.
Write it down.
Check
Yeah.
it twice.
There you go.
You better. You better.
Yeah.
No, I think that's important. I actually have a dry erase board at the house.
Yeah.
And I write just like my weekly schedule, because my schedule with work is kind of all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, put down, and on my days off, I try to write like a little goal, like, send out some emails for the
Right.
band.
Right.
Maybe, convince Daniel to put me on his podcast, and I'll ruin everything.
No.
But no, I think just being able to have just a little goal, and when you finish it and you get to put that check mark next to that,
Yeah.
that feels good.
It does feel good.
And you're like, all right, what's next?
Yeah.
And I think that's how it's done.
Well, and that's the idea, right? Is that, you keep achieving these smaller goals, and
Just
it's
one day
building
at a
you
time.
up, and it's building you up, and you're getting more and more confident. And, when, like you said, when you look at the end goal, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's very easy to think to yourself, this is way too much. I can't do this.
Right.
But if you don't really focus on that. So this whole short-term, long-term goal thing, this was something that was pushed very hard on us while I was in the military. And basically what they wanted you to do was they wanted you to have long-term goals. But they really didn't want you to be focusing on those every day. They didn't want you checking every day to see where your progress was at. They didn't want you checking every week. It was like every couple of months you would have a review.
Yeah.
And you would check to see where you were at with regards to that long-term goal. And if you weren't where you wanted to be, it wasn't a big deal, as long as you were hitting the short-term goals that you were setting for yourself. As long as you were knocking out those weekly, monthly goals, the ones that were going to take you 2 or 3 years, you'll get to those. They'll happen. Don't focus too much on that, because you can't make it happen today. You need to focus on the things that you can affect right now, today.
Right. Yeah. I love that.
That's good
awesome.
advice.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good advice for everybody.
I
man.
try to apply that to everything I do.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Because it is malleable to anything. Whatever
Yeah.
you're doing, whatever you're into.
For sure.
So when you do your abstract, how do you get yourself in the zone? What do you do?
Yeah, well, I am definitely a one of those people that I'm very I work really hard a lot, but I'm also really like more of a heart person than a head person. So I think that in art you have to be that way, really. The business side of it, you have to do a little more of the head stuff. But with the art, it just kind of comes to me at times, and sometimes it's like, I really want to work on this right now, but I have to go, take somebody to practice or whatever. But it's weird. I'll like be dead asleep, and at 3 a.m, I'll just wake up with an idea, and then I just kind of go back to sleep, and then the next day work on it. But yeah, I also, this is really great. I just, over the past year, speaking of taking little goals and getting a big goal, like renovated the boys' toy room, which hasn't been used they're all teenagers. They haven't played in the toy room for years.
Right.
Renovated it into my own office/studio. And I can't believe how much I can think in a place that's like clean and organized, because I'm really squirrely brained generally. And
Me too.
Yeah.
If there's any disorganized, my anxiety starts to get bad, and I find it hard to get focused.
Right. But I have a really hard time being organized.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's like, it's daunting. Like, oh my gosh, there's Legos everywhere. This place is a huge mess. And then as like one day I had one of my friends come over, and she's a pitcher, not a baseball pitcher, but like a pitcher of stuff. And she's like, you don't need that. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. And I was like, oh my God, Alex, but blah, blah, blah. And she's...
You hold on to stuff too.
Yeah.
The same way.
I tend to hoard.
Yeah.
Not like hoard, but there are things
Me
that
too.
if you threw them away,
Well, you
in
come
front
up
of
with
me,
these.
I would weep
You
like
come
a
up with
little
these
girl.
ridiculous reasons to
Yeah.
keep things. You're just like, well, what if I like?
I
I
like
remember I
things,
have
though.
so many. Maybe you guys are the same way. I have like probably 2 or 3 boxes throughout my house, full of charging cables.
Okay,
I have no
yeah.
idea what they're for.
Me too. Why do we
They're
have
like one of
these?
those one-off cables. Like they're only going to work with whatever they were intended for, and I'm like 99% sure that whatever they were meant for, I no longer have.
Right.
But I can't throw them away because I'm like, what if I
What if I
find it and then I
need it?
can't turn it on?
I know.
And I don't have the charging cable for it.
Throw it away. It's not worth it.
It's not.
Get rid of it.
I need to.
Yeah.
Got to purge those.
I need
electronics.
to. I need to do a spring clean.
It feels really good when you do that, but I'm,
Spring 2019. This is going to be your year, Jen.
Well, we've only been in
This
the
is gonna
house
be
for
your
like
year, dude.
We've been in the house just over 2 years.
Yeah.
So we've been there just long enough to where like we're finally starting to accumulate enough junk that we're like, okay, we probably need to start because when you first move in, this was our first house, and when we first moved in, we thought we had a lot of stuff, and then we moved in and we were like, oh my God, we have nothing.
Right.
Like we need to get so many things. Like we need way more dishes. We need way more cups. We need this, that, whatever. And now we're finally getting to the point where we're accumulating enough things that we're like, yeah, probably gonna need to start tossing some stuff. Running out of room.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So it is nice when you have a space that's, it's way, I think if you do anything that requires like some creativity, it's kind of nice to get all that crap out of your way, because then you're not, I don't know, like I said, I just have a cluttered brain anyway. And if I can just clear out any of that extra clutter, that's helpful. But
Got to get the creative tunnel vision on what you're doing.
yeah. And the other thing
Because
on
I'm
that,
quickly or easily distracted by it.
oh my gosh, I'm like the queen of distractions.
ADD central
Yeah,
over here.
I'm telling you, I tell my mom now, I'm like, Mom, I swear I had some kind of a learning disability, because I can't, I just like, I'm all over the place. And she's like, no, you're fine. But, I don't know. Maybe she
Thanks,
just,
Mom.
Maybe she just feels bad that she never like got me diagnosed or whatever. No, but yeah, I don't know. I'm with you. I'm all over the place.
Yeah, you got to have a little space where things are a little hectic, like a workshop, but then you need a place to handle the business.
Yeah, exactly. And I have both of those now. So I'm happy with that. Finally, after 5 years, I made it work.
Nice. Trial and error.
I always end up doing like all my schoolwork at work. Like I'll stay late, or like during my lunch, I'll do homework because I have to have a place where I can zone in. If I try to do it at home, like I have to try to find somewhere in the house where I can go, and then somebody's got to be home because we have 5 dogs, so somebody's got to be home to like, you know, push the dogs away and
Right.
like distract them so that I
Yes.
can focus on homework. Because otherwise, like you said, if you don't have like a dedicated area where you just go and think and clear your mind, it's just like, oh, a dog. Oh, a cat.
know,
Oh,
I
look at
know.
that. Oh, hey, there's the TV. I'll turn that on and that'll give me background noise. And then like you're not looking at it, but it's like, I'm totally listening to House right now and I can't remember what I was supposed to be working on.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And I struggle with that a lot too because I work from home and it is really, really distracting. And I have the worst dog in America. He is so bad. And it's just, there's distractions everywhere in my house. But it's like, oh, I'll just go switch a load of laundry real quick. And then I'm like, wait, what was I doing? I don't, you know, or so working from home is hard, but.
so what kind of a dog do you have? I have to ask. I love
He's a
dogs.
yellow lab. We had a lab that passed away, I don't know, a year or two ago. He was 13 and a half, and he was hands down the easiest, most laid back dog that ever lived.
Yeah.
And when he died, we were like, my husband and I were like, we're never getting another dog because we know we'll never have, like, that dog was the best dog ever.
Right.
So then, like a year passed, and my kids and I were both like, oh, let's get another dog. And I said to my husband,
There's a void in a house.
there is, but God. So I said to my husband, he laughs all the time. He says, oh, come on, Emily. Remember, we're dog people. Because I told him, oh, come on, Rob. We're dog people. We have to have a dog. We've always had a dog. We're dog people. And this dog is the most ill-behaved dog on the planet. He's just a jerk.
But he's also like a lovable jerk.
Kind of,
Nah,
sometimes.
that's not even.
When he feels like
When he
it.
feels like it, he's like a cat. Like he
Yeah.
loves you when he feels like loving you, and then when he doesn't, he's like, "I'm out." And
I can't handle that rejection from the animals.
I just don't
As
have the
selfish
energy
as that
for
is,
it.
I just
See,
want
that's
to
why
be.
you
It
get
needs
5.
to be there.
That's why you get 5, because then
And there's always something.
even if 4 of them don't want anything to do with you,
Someone
you still
does.
have a dog that wants to love on you.
Well, and I said to Rob, I was like, "Why don't we get another dog, and then they can like entertain each other?" And he was like, "Are you freaking crazy? Like this dog has single-handedly destroyed." He ate 2 of my prescription eyeglasses.
Ooh.
Yeah, and
So
one,
he makes expensive mistakes.
listen, I had on my counter, I'm not kidding. I went to Sam's Club one day and I bought a giant bag of dog treats and a giant box of those brownie bites. And then my brand new prescription eyeglasses were in between the 2 things on the counter.
And he didn't touch either one of them.
He didn't touch the brownies or the dog treats, and he destroyed my eyeglasses, and they were less than 24 hours old. Yeah. I could go on for days.
That is spiteful.
He is,
It is spiteful.
a pain in the
What have you done?
I know. I know.
What have you
It's
done
terrible. So he's
deserve
really
this?
really distracting, but I don't know. We'll make it work.
See, we did the same. We had the same logic where, so we started out with 2 dogs.
Yeah.
And then when I got out of the military, me and my wife moved back here. We went to Morgantown and we were living in an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
We have big dogs. They're healers. And so they were staying with my parents. And I can't not have a dog.
Right.
Like that is my emotional support. Like I have to have a dog. And so I convinced my wife, I'm like, why don't we just get like a little dog? You know,
Yeah.
we'll just get like a little terrier dog.
Right.
So we got a little terrier. His name's Bubba, and he is like my world. So then whenever we moved into our house, it was Bubba and Rooster and Wilbur. And I don't even remember how we decided that we needed to get a 4th dog, but somehow we came to that conclusion. And we got the 4th dog, and he was supposed to be just a little beagle. Well, he turned out to be a hound dog,
Oh,
not a
my.
beagle. So he's the biggest one out of all of them,
Yeah.
and is just super hyper all the time. But him and the little terrier never want to play. So then we were like, okay, well, we'll get a 5th dog to play with those 2. So that's how we ended up with the corgi. But now the corgi is so hyper, he will go and play with all 4 of the other dogs, and then they'll all be tired. So it's like the perfect
See?
setup now.
Yeah.
It works perfectly.
I think you should
You
probably.
have him run through the gauntlet.
Yeah, he just goes from one to the other
Right.
until they're all tired, and then they go to sleep.
And then if your corgi needs to get tired, I am willing to give you my dog.
I actually was just trying to talk my wife into letting me get a sixth dog.
Oh my gosh.
Because my old boss,
Perfect that we met.
my old boss had posted something on LinkedIn because they breed. They have a big cattle farm, so they breed and sell goats and Great Pyrenees, and they had Great Pyrenees puppies, and they had one left, and it was a male, or maybe it was a female. I don't remember, but I remember I saw it, and they're just like little poofs whenever they're little,
are,
you know.
yeah.
And I was just like, oh my god, I have to have it.
You're so funny.
So I had already texted
the
her.
wife's sympathies.
I had already texted my boss, and I'm like, "Do you guys still have that puppy?" And she's like, "You have 5 dogs." And I was just like, "I know. Listen, I
That's
understand.
not the question.
That is
Yeah.
not what I'm worried about here." But yeah, my wife was like, "No, we're
Yeah.
not doing that. We already need a bigger bed without a 120-pound
Right,
dog."
She
right.
shut it down.
Yeah.
She shut that down real fast.
man.
I'm sorry, Jed.
That was the right move.
It was probably the right move.
We definitely don't need a
Seems like you've
120-pound
rebounded
sheepdog.
okay.
Like,
You're doing all right.
yeah.
Could be doing better though.
With that
With the
extra
boot
dog.
With a yellow lab.
Yes, named Augie. No, my kids would really be mad at me if I got rid of that dog.
Yeah. You need to just get a golden doodle. They're like all the rage right now.
I know. Yeah, I don't know. I need a lot of things to deal with this dog. Anyway,
So you have your office now.
I have my office. Yeah, so I feel like I can do a little more of the businessy stuff, and also I've been painting in there as opposed to my workshop, which is right on the other side of the basement. But that's where you're using your power tools, and it's real dirty and dusty in there.
So now that you're like moving into the more abstract art, do you still allow people to request items?
Yes. So I am no longer doing the custom wood signs, but I am doing the custom abstracts. So in fact, this morning, I just had a request for a custom abstract. So yeah, I'm totally willing to do that. And the reason that I am still into that is because it's still my art. It's just like colors that will fit in your house.
Yeah. So they tell you the colors that they want?
They tell me the colors, and if they want words, they tell me what words they would like. And within reason. I mean, I can't do like an entire page from The Hobbit or something, but
That would be so
I know. I got
you're
your
getting
wheels
this guy.
a turning.
Oh man.
No, so yeah, so I'm still doing that, and yeah, I'm doing the custom abstracts. Yes, and then as far as the T-shirts and stuff go, that's just my design. I've had a lot of people say, "Oh, can you put this on a T-shirt?" I'm like, "No, I don't actually make it in my house, but I have to buy kind of in bulk."
Right. In order for you to make any kind of money, you have to buy in a pretty decent bulk.
Right, and
Which what we found out.
yes.
I think you're going to be buying some like 20, 25 shirts and making some money. I got bad news, kids.
Yeah.
It ain't going to happen.
I know.
It ain't happening.
I know. And when I first launched the T-shirts, I was like, "Can I just buy 12 so I can see if they'll sell?" And they're like,
You can.
"Yeah, sure."
For $22 a piece.
Exactly. And I was like, "Okay, I'm not really good at math, but that's not really going to work out."
Yeah, his margins are real slim then.
Yeah. So luckily, I bought more and they sold, so it worked out pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a gamble every time.
Yeah.
but you just believe in what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And it's all about the pitch.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
little flair.
Yeah. Well, and I really do wholeheartedly. I do feel very strongly about it. So,
Right.
And I think that's pretty obvious because, like I said, I'm totally one of those like heart on my sleeve type of people. So, I don't really hide stuff well. So,
I'm very curious. Your sons, will they wear the T-shirts?
Do they rep mom?
they don't rep mom. Mostly, yeah.
I mean, I've been a teenage boy at
Yeah.
one point, so I was kind of curious if they were
They
like,
couldn't
"That's
even.
not cool."
They couldn't humor mom
Well,
on
you know
Mother's
what's,
Day.
I know. Come on. No, you know what's so funny
calling 'em
is
out.
now in this day and age with social media, it's like you thought your mother embarrassed
Listen,
you.
Mom, I'll put that on, but no pictures.
exactly.
Like, don't tag me in anything.
Exactly. And they'll be like, oh, I saw your Instagram story today, Mom. I'm like, sorry. You know, I try not to embarrass them too much. But most of my shirts, I do, my market is mostly women. So, I mean, the shirts, the V-necks that I sell are technically a unisex shirt, and the sweatshirts are technically unisex. But in general, most people who like my shirts and wear them are women and girls.
Right. That's your demographic.
That's my demographic.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So.
That's one thing I could never get on board with is V-necks. I have nothing against
No,
them.
that's how my family.
It depends how deep the V is.
I can't
If
get
it's too
comfortable in a
deep-
V-neck. Like, I need the collar.
Okay,
Like,
see,
need
I
it
think
there.
that's a man thing because, like my boys and my husband, they wouldn't wear a V-neck if their life depended on it. But me as a woman, and I will say I wasn't always like this, but the older I get, and my husband makes fun of me. He's like, "You are weird." I'm like, I can't stand anything up around my neck. So I'm like, even a scarf, like I feel like someone's
Scarves
strangling
are the
me.
worst invention ever.
I know, and they're
He
so
doesn't
cute.
mean that, Jess.
They are the worst.
They're so
invention
cute, but I
ever.
think I'm gonna die when I wear one. I'm like, oh my God, help! So
I will.
that's why I went with
It
the
ain't
V-neck.
happening. If
Yeah.
this is a turtleneck
Oh,
God.
required.
I
Turtlenecks.
will like seriously jump off a bridge if you make me wear a turtleneck. I can't even handle anything like
Do
that.
people still wear turtlenecks?
Dude, around the
That's still a
holidays,
thing?
they come out. Just when you think that they're
Really?
gone, they're back.
God, I haven't seen a turtleneck.
People wear them under those
So long.
Christmas ugly
On their
sweaters,
sweaters,
bro.
yeah.
They put them on under there, and they try to get something that matches, like a spearmint or like a pine green,
Or bright
Christmas
red.
cherry red.
Yeah.
Terrible.
What about the white turtlenecks?
Oh,
that
the
had-
white
And,
and
then
the-
they had the embroidered like Christmas trees on them. Yeah,
Oh, God. that's
Disgusting.
terrible.
I know.
That's everything that's wrong
It's
with
like,
America.
what are you talking
Wow,
about?
that is awful. No, I mean, my mom used to be obsessed with turtlenecks because she always had this irrational fear that if the temperature dropped below 70 degrees that we were going to freeze to death and get a cold.
Get the hypo.
So it was like, it's 63. You need to put on a turtleneck if you're going outside.
You know
So-
what? She might be right because I am suffering from a terrible cold and I am currently
You're
wearing a
not
tank top.
wearing-
This
turtleneck,
weather, though,
so-
in fairness, though, that's what it's been.
Yeah.
Yesterday it was what, like 50 degrees?
I don't know. I didn't leave my bed.
It's been brutal.
I have no
It's been brutal
idea.
out there. I'm
I
waiting
don't
to
even
get
know
a
what day
sinus
it is.
infection because of this
You know,
weather.
I complain about it every year, and every year our weather is always exactly
It's
the same way.
craziness.
It's like until you hit mid-January, it's like one day it's going to be 70,
Yeah.
the next day it's going to be 23.
Yeah.
It's going to snow one day, and then by the end of the day it's raining.
No, last April it snowed in 2018.
Yeah.
It snowed in
Yeah.
April. I was like, what the hell is happening? Anyway. Yeah. it was
Every
rough.
year it comes back, and every year I'm going to complain about it.
Yeah.
It's just rough on my sinuses,
Yeah,
man. I'm a
yeah.
sinuses sufferer.
I am too. West
Well-
Virginia is a tough place for that.
Yeah,
And
it
this is the worst time of year.
seasonal change gets
Mm-hmm.
me.
This is the worst time of year for people that have lots of dogs. Because my yard is just perpetually wet.
Yep.
It can never dry out, and there's no snow on the ground.
No, don't get me started.
So it's just like, oh, did you vacuum and steam mop? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Here's 5 animals that are covered in mud.
I know. I never thought I
Barreling
would
into
want
the
the ground
house.
to freeze, but I like every winter I'm like, please ground just freeze cuz like I just the mud from dogs.
Yeah.
Especially a lab.
Oh, he's a maniac.
Wears it well.
Oh yeah.
Wears
he
the mess
sure
well.
does.
Well, the corgi is like his legs are so short.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when he's running through the yard, his belly is just picking up mud. And then he comes in the house, and the first thing he wants to do is sploot. So he like comes in the house, walks over to the rug, and then just flops down belly first. And then it's
Yeah.
just muddy belly on the rug.
Rugs are rough.
I think you might have to go hardwood, bro.
We are hardwood.
Oh.
We're hardwood and tile, and
you'd
everywhere in
have
the
to be.
house but the bedrooms. We had
No,
to. We
no
had to make that
fabric
change.
floors. Yeah, you couldn't.
We took all that carpet out whenever we moved in.
Yeah, you'd have to.
But I mean, you gotta have rugs for like your coffee table and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we purposefully will shop until we find like the clearance rugs that are like $20 because after maybe 5 or 6 months, they're so dirty and gross that it's like you
Yeah.
gotta get new rugs now.
Find
Yeah.
a nice clearance rug that ties the room together.
Yeah. Well, and luckily, my wife and I are both very eccentric whenever it comes to decorating.
style, yeah.
So like we have all kinds of crazy colors. Like
Yeah.
one of our couches is like bright orange, and then the other one's like this weird blue-gray color. So then it's like whatever color rugs we find, it goes with
works.
everything.
Yeah.
Because our house,
Opening it up
our house just looks like, I don't know,
like a,
artistic homicide.
No, it doesn't. I don't know.
an Andy Warhol nightmare.
Yeah, looks like a Salvador Dali painting.
When we bought this house that we're in, it was 10 years ago, and it was when our other lab was still alive, and I just made the whole house the color of dirt. Like my carpet is the color of dirt. My
you have
couch is the
to.
color of dirt. It was like,
You have to adapt
yeah.
in order
And
to maintain your sanity.
yeah, it's kind of ugly though, but it's all right.
You got to make it work.
Yeah.
It's either that or you get to look at the mess.
Or you just make yourself crazy with all the
I think your
dirt.
blood pressure would suffer more with the latter.
Yeah, so.
So what's you said that the business is really changing. What's on the horizon for Coco and June right now?
Well, what I have started to do is, and I think I'm hoping this is smart, is kind of paring down. I was doing everything before and just too many different things. And it was confusing to me and maybe confusing to my customers. I don't know. But now I'm really just kind of tunnel visioning what I'm doing. So mostly I'm doing the T-shirts and the abstracts. So, and they all kind of tie into the whole positivity thing. So, yeah, I just kind of am not completely cutting out the wood signs, but I am cutting out the custom wood signs, and it's giving me a lot more time and sort of mental clarity to focus on what really works for me better. So,
I always suffer when I try to wear too many hats.
yeah, it's
If
fun.
I can specialize in something, if I can just narrow it down, whatever it is I'm doing, I really try to. That's when I'm at my best.
Exactly. I think it is really business-wise.
Not a great multitasker.
No, it's
Back to the ADD thing.
Yeah, you know what? I think multitasking is a bunch of bull anyway, because I feel like I had this period where, like, when my kids were little, and I was good at multitasking, and I prided myself on the fact that I could multitask. And it's kind of like this: I got to the top of this like crescent, and then all of a sudden, I sucked at multitasking, and I kind of like started to go down the other side, like, I can't do this anymore. And I think it was like this like self-awareness where I was like, I don't really want to be the person who can, like my dad always says, he's like, you always have all your plates spinning, you know, like those ladies, the red panda or whatever, she's got all her plates spinning. It's like, I don't want to do that anymore.
Right.
Because then you don't really do anything well. You do
Right.
everything.
Everything is affected.
Yeah. And then
It's like a restaurant. You don't want to be the restaurant that offers like 20 mediocre things. You want to be the
Exactly.
restaurant where you can get 6 bomb
really good things. And how about when you open a menu like that that's got like 14
And
pages?
you can't figure out what you want.
I can't even
Yeah.
do it. I can't even get
No.
past the appetizers. I'm
Eliminate
like,
the
I'm
options.
exhausted.
Eliminate the options.
Yeah.
See,
This
that's
is what
why-
this is what we're selling.
Yes.
You can buy it.
Yes.
Or, good luck to you.
I think that's a great business plan, and I think one of the best representations of why that's such a good plan is food trucks.
Yeah.
Food trucks are great, not just because the food is usually very good and prepared right in front of you, but like when you go to a food truck, you will be hard pressed to find food trucks that have more than maybe 5 or 6 things
Yeah.
that they're making at any one
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
So it's easy.
Yeah.
You can walk up, you can look at the menu, you can very easily, if not immediately pick out what you want, narrow it down to like 2 things.
Yes.
And then by the time you get up there, you know what you want, you get it, you go.
Exactly.
There's no stress, there's no
And
worry.
and it's like, who thinks, I mean, you wouldn't think that going to a food truck would be stressful, but you're right. Like our brains, the way our brains work, we're so overwhelmed with everything all the time.
Just
It's
sensory
like,
overload.
I just don't want to make one more decision, you know?
Yeah.
And I think what happens with a lot of small business owners, especially creatives, is you don't want to say no to people. You don't want to disappoint people. And I mean, I'm kind of generally like that anyway, even not in business. So it was hard for me to say no to people. So I took on way more than I could handle. And then then I would have to say no. And they were like, well, wait, like you said yes to me before. Why are you saying no now? You know? And so I think it's so good to just like know what you're good at and like say no to the rest.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I gave that exact same advice to that hip hop group here a couple weeks ago. They were starting it out, and the guys only played the one show.
That was the one I wasn't here for.
Oh, that's right, you weren't.
I
But I
don't think
gave
I
them
was
that
here for
same
that.
advice. I was like, just know where your lane is.
Yeah.
Do that as good as you can.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to say no to things. It
Yes.
doesn't make you a jerk.
No.
It doesn't make your group terrible.
No.
You just got to know that your hip hop duo group probably won't do well at this mixed genre show, which has, you know, a classic cover rock band and a country artist.
Right. No, it just doesn't.
Say no to
just doesn't
things. It's
vibe.
okay to say no to things. You
Yeah.
want opportunities, and you're kind of in that, well, I need to get started. I
Yeah.
can take whatever I can get.
Yeah.
But
I think that's the hardest
important.
struggle of being an adult is
Yeah.
that you're constantly worried that you're not doing enough, but then you're constantly doing too much.
Too much.
And it's like finding that balance of where that's something this past year, I think I've really been trying to focus hard on is acknowledging the fact that like I'm not going to get everything done when I want it to be done. You know, I'll identify the things that I have to get done. Like, you know, you got to go to work 40 hours a week,
Right.
whatever. And then schoolwork, like don't fail college. That's a thing. But identifying hard stops for myself where it's like, you know what? I know that there are things that I have to get done today, but I need to take 2 hours and just not do anything.
Well, and that is so crazy because I'm right there with you. And this like facade of that you have to be busy all the time is total bull.
Stupid.
It is.
Yeah.
I think it's
stupid.
image.
It
I
ruins
think
your life. It
I'm
stresses
busy,
you
so
out.
I'm successful. Maybe
Exactly.
not. Maybe you're not that successful because you're not good at managing your time.
Exactly.
And you're
And it's
running around like
really-
a crazy
it's
person with
really-
your phone.
Yep, it's really easy to fall
Sucking
into
at
that.
life.
It's really easy. I mean, even the best of us fall into that trap.
Sure.
And it's like I just got to the point where I was like,
It's a rat race.
yeah, and it's crazy. And I think what happened is I had this like realization that time, now that my oldest one is going to college, I'm like, oh my God, there's 18 years. Like that's, I mean, not that I'm never going to see him again, but like that's an era. That's an end of an era. And I'm like, I am not going to waste my time on stuff that doesn't, like, in business, if it doesn't serve my goal, I'm not wasting my time. And in life, if it doesn't serve my goal of like, you know, focusing on what matters, see ya. I'm done. Like, it's not worth it. So this constant like running and being busy for the sake of being busy is just not worth it.
You got to unplug.
Totally.
I've been trying to have like more electronic free time where I just completely, you put the phone away.
Yeah.
I'm not watching TV. I'm not on the internet. I'm just kind of like chilling on my porch, you know, when I can.
Yeah.
But I try to set some time every week where I'm going someplace and just kind of zoning out for a little while.
Good for you, because that's tough.
It really helps clear out the clutter.
It really does. And do you guys have on your iPhones now? It says
Screen
the
time.
ports?
Screen time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, at first when I saw
Reminds you how terrible and how much life you're wasting.
that, I know, but you know what? At first when I saw that, I was like, oh no, I don't want this. And then
Did you cut down your phone usage after seeing it, though? Did you feel guilty?
I was like, I looked at it this morning, it popped up and it's like, your screen time was down 25%. And I was like, from last week. And I was like, nice. I didn't even intend, I guess probably because it was Christmas. Now that I say that out loud, I'm like, oh, duh. But, and I forgot to take pictures of my kids on Christmas morning this year, but whatever. Maybe I should have had more screen time. But anyway, yeah, I totally agree with that unplugging. And the other thing about that is because I was sick and in bed yesterday, I was on my phone all day because there was like nothing else to do. And I got sick of all the weight loss and tax commercials. What the hell? But anyway, I was like on my phone all day. And then I was like, all of a sudden last night, I was like, okay, I physically feel like death right now, but like mentally, I feel terrible too. And it's because I've been on the freaking social media all day.
And let's be real. Social media is a negativity cesspool.
Okay, Chris. Yes, but
Negativity cesspool.
it is, and that is why I'm so.
I find myself irritated, maybe not by anything in particular,
Nope.
but just like the
the whole
whole
thing.
charade that it's become.
Yes, but I will say
It's disgusting.
that. Well, first of all, social media.
Not everyone deserves a platform. Let's
No.
just be real. Not
I know.
everyone deserves a platform to put whatever they want out in the universe for other people to ingest.
I agree, and that's the problem is that people spew super negative stuff, and then
And you know what? Because they're not doing anything creative themselves.
well, maybe,
I
but
think that there's a lot of haterade going on, that people are just so miserable about how unfulfilled they are about the choices that they have made, that they just put the social media as an outlet to put that stuff. And it's
Well,
unfortunate.
and it's a really safe way to do it. Like you don't have to
Right.
be in. There's no, personal.
No one's gonna-
connection.
There's very little repercussion.
Yeah.
Odds are someone's not going to shut you down because it's like, all right, he's just doing a cry
Right.
for help post. Just
And-
let him kind of get it out. Where in life, I start crying to Jed might just shut me down to my face, and I can't risk that.
Right.
I don't know. I guess where I was going with that is it's unfortunate how negative that social media has become,
Listen, I agree. I wasn't
which
even
makes
on
putting
social
something
media.
positive out there all the more
Thank
important.
you. Thank you for that beautiful segue.
Yeah.
I wasn't even on social media until I started my business, and I was like, well, I have to be on social media because I'm on a business. I mean, I have a business, and I will say, social media. If I didn't have social media, my business wouldn't be where it is today. Not that I'm like a multimillionaire, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's
So
crucial.
It's crucial.
Yeah.
But I am like bound and determined that like I will never, ever, ever put negativity out there on social media.
I
Now,
try not to.
I
as
will
well.
put real life out there. Like my dog just ate my $300 pair of glasses, and that sucks, But that's funny,
But when you get that memory post like a year later,
Yeah.
you're gonna laugh at that.
I guess. Yeah, because now I buy all my glasses at Gabe's. I'm like, I'm never buying another real pair of glasses.
You got to embrace the suck now for a good story
Yeah,
later.
exactly. But that's why I'm like, and people say to me, they're like, I really enjoy reading your posts because they make my day better. And that is exactly, that means everything to me because I'm like, there's so much negativity in this world. And I know it's cliche, but you really, really can get affected by that. It can really mess with you. And I'm just
absolutely.
there's
Like
no
you
way.
said, being on your phone, you felt physically terrible, and we thought, I'm gonna feel better. Maybe I'll see a funny meme
Yeah.
on social media.
No.
And by the end, you were
Right. I was
powered down.
drained.
Yeah.
I was totally drained. And so, but there's some people's stuff that I look at on social media and I'm like, oh, that's nice, or that so I'm just like, I'm like a huge positivity person on social media. I'm not, I can't, I'm like, I feel like I'm single-handedly like going to combat the negativity.
I'll tell you the change that I made with social media that made all the difference for me is I no longer have opinionated discussions on social media.
No way.
I refrain.
I will share food stuff. I will share
Sports
pictures,
is
sports
debate related
things.
things as I get on social media.
I'll post pictures of my dogs and stuff like that. But if anybody, directly confronts me about something political, religious, ideological, whatever it is,
That's taboo.
nope, not doing it. I don't even respond most of the time, or if I do, it's just some plain Jane vanilla response.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything. And if I see somebody else that has posted something, if it is offensive enough to me that I feel the need to confront them, I'm either going to confront them directly, or if it's somebody that I don't even really know all that well, I just unfriend them.
Unfriend them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that honestly has made all the difference
Yeah.
because
Being
before
picky,
that,
purge that friend list.
Oh, heck yeah.
Got
before
it.
that, you just, it's like you can't argue with somebody on.
Well, that's another
you
thing.
can't-
This
well, and
cognitive
let me-
dissonance thing
you
that's
shouldn't
going on, where
argue at
people are
all.
just ignoring facts,
Yeah.
factual things to support their personal biases. That is a war you won't win.
I just keep on
Don't-
scrolling.
yeah.
I
Nope.
don't even.
Yep.
yeah,
just
don't even
look
get
at
in the
it.
fight. Just
I don't even look at it.
That has made all the difference for
Yeah.
me. I mean,
Yeah.
it was incredible the amount of stress that was just sucked out of my life whenever I stopped engaging with people on social media.
Oh yeah.
Did you used to get into some thread tiffs back in the day?
All the time.
Was that your
Listen,
thing?
all the time. All the time.
I can see that.
All the time. Well, I mean, so the issue with me was back
You said something really stupid,
back
and now I'm going to
before-
have to get you.
back before
Brought this on.
when I was an immature 18, 19-year-old kid, I thought it was cool to get in arguments all the time about
Trolling.
You know, it's like, oh, this is what I think about politics and religion and rah, rah, and I wanted to, I wanted to tell everybody about what I thought, and I thought that was just the coolest thing ever. And then it was like, as I got older, I got to the point where I am now, where it's like, I really don't care what anybody else thinks.
Right.
It doesn't matter to me.
No.
As long as you're not like hurting other people, whatever. I don't care. Think whatever you want to think. But I didn't stop the social media stuff. Like I just kept carrying on like usual with the social media stuff. And then I finally realized one day, I was like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why am I arguing with people that I don't even talk to outside of Facebook?
No.
Right.
Why? Why am I doing this?
No.
Like, I'm just going to stop doing this. And it was just like such a weight was lifted off my
Isn't that
shoulders.
great. You feel so much better.
You know?
Yeah.
No more.
I love
You don't
it.
have to carry that burden anymore.
Because
dude.
I can still have those conversations, but face to face
Sure.
with people.
Yeah.
And,
I
and
shut
when
those-
you do that face to face with somebody, you can have very differing opinions on things. And,
And you-
generally speaking, face to face in small groups.
Well, and the nice thing about that is when you're face to face, you realize that you're both human beings. And even if we have completely different opinions, like you still have good qualities. That person across the table still that person's not a terrible person just because they have a different opinion than you.
Right.
But when there's no like face to it and you can just type away, it just, everybody's such it like dehumanizes
Yeah,
people.
you just get lumped into a general category.
Yeah. And it's like, everything's not all black and white. And
And there's no repercussions anymore. It's just all these keyboard, tough guys, and
yeah. See,
it's just unfortunate.
Or Russian bots.
Russian bots. Proof you're not a bot. Q3ZT2A.
yeah. Or click the picture with storefronts. And I'm like, I did. I clicked the people,
Isn't it sad how many of those you get wrong? Because
I do. I'm like,
guilty.
am I so, like, can I
of
not find the storefronts? Why can't I do this?
Oh,
Click
man.
the boxes with stoplights. I'm like, yes, I did it. I did it. But no, it never works out. Yeah.
So kids, purge your friend list.
Yeah.
Be more selective of who you're going to share your digital life with,
Well, and
because they could bring you down.
it's not even just social media; it's everything. It's like
The news,
what you
everything
watch
about
on
it.
TV.
Even how sports is covered anymore. It used to
That's-
be like, we're going to tell
Oh
you
my
what
God, you
happened in the
can't
game.
watch
No.
the games anymore.
no.
Now
My-
it's team this versus team this,
Or-
regardless of what happened in the game. We're moving further away from factual based
Yeah.
discussions.
Like,
It's
how many
all,
yards
this
did
is
the
my
guy have? That's what I
perspective.
want to know.
Yeah, what happened to the game?
Yeah,
Who won? Like, what?
Not
Right.
not like, oh, so and so had an argument in the locker room with so and so. I'm like,
Yeah. I don't care if
Seriously?
someone was tweeting at halftime.
Who cares?
Tell me why the 4-3 zone wasn't effective against the spread this weekend. Like,
Right.
do your job.
Tell me why the Cowboys lost.
We actually won. We won.
I'm
You
kidding.
came back?
We
I'm
won.
kidding. I gotta give you trouble.
I gave it a quick. I don't know if you caught me earlier, but I was
I
like,
was seeing that.
that was the. We
Oh,
locked
is
it
that
in.
why you were-
Yeah,
okay, I
I got a little
wondered.
excited for a second,
Okay, good.
and that's why we heard that boom boom upstairs. That was Daniel getting
The Cowboys
rowdy.
did something
getting
good.
all kinds of lit.
Yeah.
God bless you, Daniel. You get to go hang out upstairs while me and Jed carry this whole thing.
Do the grunt
It's
work.
rough.
My shoulders hurt,
It's rough.
Mister. I slept on the floor. Well, how about this? I'm gonna buy you an inflatable mattress. So next time you sleep in the cave, you won't be crying about it for 20 days. Crusty, crotchety old man you are. You need more
poor Daniel.
positivity in your life,
He's
Daniel
not even
Bonner.
here to
Oh,
defend
man.
himself.
Listen,
You know what?
Daniel needs to buy some of your V-necks.
He's
Yeah.
negative. You know what?
For sure.
You might need to send him one because he needs one.
Okay, I
He's
will.
a very
Send him
negative
one.
person.
Is
He needs it.
He's
Poor
so
guy.
negative.
He's not even here to defend himself.
It's okay. He does this to
wouldn't.
me all the time.
He wouldn't.
Poor Daniel.
Yeah, and he wouldn't even defend himself. He would just agree.
He disagree.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
I
well.
think so.
Oh well. It's not for everybody.
Embrace the positivity, kids,
Yeah.
including you, Daniel.
Yeah.
I think
for
that
you. It's
maybe
good
if you
for
wear
you.
a little less black
Although
and
most
shave
of my
a little
shirts are
more
black.
often, you find yourself in a better place in life.
No, he doesn't need to shave. He grows a really good beard.
I think he would be. I'd like to see him in a Wolverine mutton chop situation.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm
just a little curious. I'm just a little curious.
I think I can support that.
I like a good mutton chop.
Yeah.
My
I
oldest
think it's
son
I think it's a look that's dying out. It can be brought back in a second.
not with lacrosse players. So my
That's
kids
fair.
play lacrosse, and
fair.
and my oldest one is really proud of his mullet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big thing too.
Yeah, and
So
he
because they like
said-
the hair dangle beyond the helmet.
Yeah,
the
it's like
helmet,
back
yep.
when I was in high school.
Yeah.
That's how hockey players wore their hair.
Yep.
I mean, I hung out with all the hockey players, and they had the mullet. And then, but he said if they go to states this year, he's gonna have his mullet and mutton chops. I don't even know.
Not
how.
a mustache. He's not
And a
gonna do
mustache. And a mustache. I knew I was forgetting something, but I don't know how
Man,
does one
what
thing-
a trifecta.
Triple M's.
man.
Triple M's.
Hey, he's. I think I don't know. I don't know if he's
The
trying to
M
embarrass
cubed.
me or what. Yeah, but how do you even grow mutton chops? I think you have to be
I
a
don't
pretty
know. I
hairy
don't.
person,
my beard
right?
doesn't really grow very well right there, so I couldn't really do.
I think that you
a
would
pretty
have to
solid beard,
essentially
though.
grow it out, and then you'd have to kind of chisel it out.
I don't know.
It'd be stages.
I think
It
you
wouldn't be
have to
pretty out of the gate. It
I
would
feel
be,
like you have to be pretty deep into facial hair. A lot of years of facial
Yeah.
hair. I don't know if it's gonna work out for him. It might be like Sidney
or like
Crosby
one of
when
those
he has
kids
the-
that like had a full beard at 15 already.
Yeah, no, that wasn't him.
Because I definitely went to school with some
Yeah.
dudes like that.
Yeah,
those
me
kids
too.
in middle school.
You come
who are,
back
like,
from
full-grown
summer and
men.
you're just like, whoa, what happened to your face? Like, where did that come from?
What's up, guys?
Yeah, exactly.
How y'all doing?
Had the body odor in like the second grade.
Oh,
You're
Yeah,
like, wait,
it's
what?
like I didn't even have to wear deodorant until like 11th grade. Maybe I did, but
Yeah.
you did. Wasn't
Maybe
really.
You
should've.
didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't really
Didn't
know.
know. Nobody
Didn't have
told you
to.
yet that you stunk.
The hormones, the hormones weren't really raging until then. It was a late bloomer.
I was a late bloomer too. It's okay, Chris.
It's all right. Here we are, 31 years old, soon to be 32, and getting better by the day.
Still
Just
wearing
trying to be like Jed. Trying to be like Jed when I grow up.
Yeah. Trying to lose your hair.
Yeah. My Native American blood will
Oh
make sure
yeah.
that doesn't
it'll
happen.
it'll never go away.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'll donate some.
Some hair?
Do you want some
Make a
rabby?
toupee for
Do you
me?
want some rabby hair?
Listen, so
Rabby
I
locks?
just got back from the DC area. We were visiting my wife's family, and they have these two beautiful kids. I want to say they're 4, around that age. And my wife calls me all the time, bald man. Like that's just how she refers to me. Hey, bald man.
That's how she
Hey,
likes
bald
it, though.
man. Bald man. All the time. All the time. So we're walking at the park with these kids, and one of them is trying to get my attention, and she turns around and she's just like, "Hey, you big bald man."
Oh.
What did you just say?
Right.
What did you call me? Did you say bald man? And I just like looked at my wife, and I was just like, "Look at what you've done."
Aw.
Did she defend your honor?
She thought it was hilarious. She just laughed.
She just laughed at you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, see, that's where she needed to step up and be like, look,
Only the 4. Yeah. Here,
that's
look
my bald man.
at. Right.
And to you, he's Mr. Bald Man.
Mr. Bald Man. Yeah.
I'll put you in your place,
Uncle Bald
4-year-old. Aw. Yeah. Bald is good. Bald's
I'm not-
totally
I'm-
in now, though. So
It is.
you're
Yeah,
fine.
I kind of lucked out that I
You
transitioned.
came at this time.
right
Yeah.
in the period.
In the 90s, it would have been tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There wasn't the Dwayne
was like-
Johnsons and Jason Stathams.
It was me and like the lead singer of Disturbed.
Well,
would've
That's
been
tough
it.
company.
That would have been it.
That's tough company.
it would have been totally fine, though, because we all looked like idiots in the 90s. So
That's
don't
fair.
you worry
I had a
about
bowl
that.
cut.
Did
Who
you?
am I? Yeah, I probably rocked the bowl cut longer than I should have.
I had frosted tips.
Ooh.
like with
It's probably a good thing I
Did
went
they use
bald.
the cap?
I would do like the colored gel tips,
Mm.
but I wouldn't ever get the blonde highlights.
No, mine were
I
blonde.
think I would look silly.
I had the blonde tips.
Frosty.
It was bad.
So frosty.
It was real bad. And
Stay
then like
frosty.
when I didn't have it spiked up, I just looked like a redneck Slim Shady.
Ooh.
Just
nice.
had like the bleached hair.
Like you were always on your way to a rap battle
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, it was awful. It's probably a good thing I went bald.
Oh, wow.
You know what? Don't say that about yourself.
That and I had a
Every-
mohawk.
you
for
pull
a
it off
while,
though.
like,
you got a
I
nice
had
you got a
all
nice
kinds of
head,
weird-
Jed. You have a nice skull.
Yeah,
It works.
good bone structure.
Great bone structure, great skin. beautiful. You're beautiful, man.
Thank you. I
We're gonna end
that
2018
positivity.
on a positive
See,
podcast.
Chris, I
today.
like how you turned that.
It just
You're so beautiful.
It just we're putting it out there.
You should.
Should we thank all the listeners for tuning in this year?
Yeah, I mean, we've been kicking for half a year now, I think.
Yeah.
I want to say we first started posting in like July-ish, somewhere in that area.
Yeah.
It's been almost a whole year since we started off the initial D&D campaign that got this thing started.
So that's the Godfather podcast.
Yep. Well, no, so the campaign.
Ah.
Little backstory to that.
Yeah.
When we first decided to start up 13 Palm Trees, it originated from a desire to play D&D. And I think it was Michael and Daniel had gotten the idea that why don't we do our own podcast, and we do a D&D podcast. And so we started playing D&D because nobody had played, and it just kind of went from there.
Well, and it's super fancy in here. You've got like real mics and
Yeah, we
headphones
built it
and-
up just like little by
Moving it
little.
on
We've
up.
just been accumulating things. I mean, and we kicked it off with such a bang with the PopCon. Like that was the first thing that we
Yeah.
ever did that was like official 13 Palm Trees business. Here we are, was at the PopCon.
Coming out loud and proud.
Just like, meeting people, shaking hands, making moves. It was cool.
yeah.
cool.
And
been a
it's
good
taken
year.
off. Yeah,
It's been
it's
a good
taken
year.
off.
Yeah.
I haven't been here long, but we've met a lot of nice people and interesting people with some great
That's
stories.
probably been the best part about Wasted for me.
I look forward to this
is-
every week. Yeah.
I have I have bad social anxiety. And so like I'm always nervous coming into the interviews, but within like the first couple of minutes, it always just goes right away.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you just talk. And it's just
Keep it loose.
everyone that we meet in here is awesome.
Yeah.
All the artists, all the businesses, business owners, everybody that we've gotten to deal with through this whole thing have been fantastic.
Until the DE boys come.
Except
and
for
get Daniel drunk.
except for Disillusion Effect. They were pretty terrible.
Oh,
It's his band. And Worst Kept Secret. I'm just glad
I
I
thought
wasn't
we
here
had
for
fun.
that one.
well,
I thought we had fun.
well,
Apparently, the podcast team doesn't feel the same.
it's all into the perspective. It's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I had fun.
Well, that's all that
Party
matters.
pooper. Maybe if you would have drank the rye whiskey with us.
I had to drive. I had to
You coulda
drive,
had the
and then I
wife-
had to work the
You
next
could have
day.
had the wife pick you up. You could have worked.
You made
something
the
out.
right decision not drinking the whiskey.
You did. It was early.
I can't even smell whiskey anymore. It's,
Oh, I love whiskey.
too.
I loved it too when I was in college. But I think I loved it a little too much, and I will never love it again.
That's how I did. That's Jägermeister. That's
Oh,
Yeah,
don't
see,
even say it.
Jägermeister story.
Whiskey's not a drink that I like to drink and get real drunk on. I might catch a quick buzz on some whiskey, but what I don't like about whiskey drunk is like you wake up the next day and you just feel like a sponge that got left out in the sun.
Yeah, brown liquor is kind of generally just not
Extra
good.
dehydrated.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's rough.
It's pretty awful.
Yeah, that's when the Pedialyte comes in. That's where you got to come in with the electrolytes.
Doesn't matter.
Maybe a greasy pizza.
Like I have a terrible taste in my mouth right now just talking
Thinking about
this.
whiskey.
And then he had to bring out the Jägermeister,
Jaeger.
and I'm like,
Oh no!
seriously.
Drink that licorice.
I have a friend who
Jaeger
still
bombs.
drinks Jägermeister. I'm like, Renee, what the hell? How are you not over Jägermeister? We're like in our 40s.
We all have those couple of
Please.
friends.
Well,
who
and
are
the
like,
real
"Give me a
weird
shot of
ones."
Jaeger."
She's
Or
a hoot.
they're like, hey, well, you want to do a shot? And you're like, I don't really want to, but
No.
okay. And then they order you a shot of Jaeger.
Ew.
And you're torn. You're like, do I shut this down? Or do I
Yes.
suck it up and potentially vomit?
I've only
immediately
seen
afterwards?
maybe once or twice, but I have met people in my life that will pour a glass of Jaeger like you would a glass of whiskey
Nope.
Don't.
and drink it like that.
Don't.
Yeah.
I'm
That
going to
is
say
terrible.
this because
That
I
is-
have 3
that is
teenagers.
the worst thing I've ever heard.
Don't drink Jägermeister.
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't.
kids. Don't
Kids, don't do it. You will
Jägermeister's such a
regret it.
bad
do it. Drink
idea.
7-Up.
Ginger ale if you're feeling real saucy.
Yeah, if you want to get real crazy, get one of the glass bottle sodas.
Yeah.
Ooh, those are nice.
The original
fancy.
Coca-Cola with real sugar.
Yeah, Jones Cola, Jones sodas,
Just
made
sody
with
pop.
real sugar.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff.
I feel like we came up in like a really weird time for drinking though. Because like right
We're
whenever
like the first
I-
generation energy drink generation.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. When I
Yeah,
went into
but-
the military, obviously, it's the Navy, and then I was
Jolt.
a corpsman, so I was with the Marines. So it's like Navy, sailors, and Marines, and all we did was drink all the time. It was-
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, just Four Locos, like those things are
Oh
so
my
terrible.
God, yeah.
Like I'm amazed that I don't have like
They banned
organ
those for a
damage.
little while. They
Well,
took
yeah,
them off.
They had to
took 'em off the
reformulate
market.
them because
Yeah.
they were like, they were really
Bad for you.
the malt
yeah.
liquor energy drink.
Horrible for you.
Well,
So
we
bad.
had Jolt Cola when I was
Jolt.
growing
Yeah.
up. Jolt was
Do you
like the
remember
original.
Josta?
No.
The Josta soda made by the Coca-Cola company?
No, I do not.
It was like a fruity. I guess you would compare it maybe to like a Dr. Pepper. It was real dark and had like you couldn't tell anyone what it tasted like. It was just a weird hybrid syrup
Ew.
of things.
Yeah.
And it had like a panther on it.
That must have
Made
been
with real,
short-lived.
made with bits of real panther.
It's made a business. That's how you know it works.
I think that was short-lived. I think. they
Yeah,
got rid
no,
of
it
that.
was. Yeah,
it
it
was
was.
probably a bad.
And
experiment.
Surge.
Yeah, Surge came on.
They brought it
after
back and it
Jolt.
wasn't the same.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed.
And there was something else that came after Surge. That came in a green bottle.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Somebody out there is like yelling it right now.
Yeah.
Like, they know the answer,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna be able to think of it.
No.
But funny story. I went to Bridgeport in high school, and I would go to the Big Lots, and I would buy the huge cases of like damaged energy drinks, and I would always get the Lost brand energy drinks. This was before like Monster and Red Bull had like really blown up and were in stores all over the place.
Right.
And they were really expensive. So, but I would buy these cheap, discounted energy drinks, and then I would just sell them to people at school
Oh my gosh.
for
how
like
funny.
$2 a piece.
Jed slanging cans of poison.
You were an entrepreneur back in the day.
Well, I would
like
do
that.
that. I would do that all the time. Even after I had quit, I smoked and dipped, and even after I had quit dipping and smoking, anytime that we would ever have to go out to the field, I would bring with me like 2 or 3 cartons of cigarettes and like 3 or 4
Solid.
logs of dip. And after like the first couple days, nobody ever brings enough.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
So after the first couple days, people are trying to bum, and it's just like, hey, here's a pack of cigarettes when we get back, because obviously nobody has money with them. But I would be like, it's $10 whenever we get back. You owe me $10.
Yeah.
Ooh, the
No,
New York City price.
Oh yeah. Well, Newports were more.
Oh.
The Newports I would do 15 because those were a hot commodity.
Menthol.
My father-in-law was in the Vietnam War, and he said when they would send out, I can't remember what they're called. You probably remember the like the mess kits, whatever it was. It's 3 letters.
MRE.
Okay.
Yeah.
That the guys would pitch all the food out of them and just go for the cigarettes.
Yeah, because the food was probably terrible.
Well, they wanted the cigarettes so bad. That's how crazy that was. But anyway,
Speaking of Vietnam, I recently watched Apocalypse Now.
For the first time?
I watched it a long time ago, but not enough to really
a good
wrap
movie.
your head around.
Very dark.
Very dark.
Very dark movie.
yeah, which is
man.
why I've never watched it.
And long, dude. It was like almost 3
It
hours.
is long.
Yeah.
But it was good though. I didn't remember that Harrison Ford was in that piece. That was one of his first movies.
Harrison Ford was in it?
Yeah, he plays one of the officers giving Senior Sheen his mission at the base before he goes out to find Marlon Brando.
Wow. I actually saw it somewhat recently, and I didn't catch that. I don't know how I missed that.
How dare you miss Harrison Ford, sir?
No.
Maybe you
How
were the
dare you,
bathroom.
sir? How dare you, sir?
That's a sin.
It is.
But I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't know, but that was a good little fun fact.
Good little fun fact.
Harrison Ford.
So, any closing points that you would like to make about Coco and June?
Oh, Coco and June. That's why we're here.
We do this every
That's
time.
okay. I was
Yeah.
like,
Every
oh,
time.
we-
We have to try to like circle back around to it every now and then.
Isn't that funny? Yeah, no, because I told you I'm like squirrel brain, so that's how I roll too.
Oh yeah.
Just look for some new stuff coming out in 2019. And like I said earlier, I'm going to be funneling into really what moves me and what my passion is, and, go from there with that. So lots of colors, lots of good stuff coming. in 2019.
And
And
you said
emails.
that there's cocoandjune.com. Uh-huh. And then do you have Instagram, Facebook?
Yeah, Instagram and Facebook at Coco and June. I'm pretty religious about hopping on Monday through Friday-ish. And then on Instagram stories, I do a lot on there with the process and my
Now,
dog.
if somebody sees you post like a painting on Instagram, can they just message you and
Yes,
be like, hey,
always.
I want that?
Yeah, DM me for sure. And then also you can purchase directly from my website what is on my website. So the shirts are always on my website. Some of my art, not so much, because like I'll make one piece and then somebody might buy it before I even post it on
Right.
my website. So, but there's gonna be some changes to my website in 2019, like going along with that funneling down jazz. So yeah. So, but always, if you see something that you like, send me a message.
Always 24/7.
Yeah, no, not really, but
24/7. 3 a.m. on a Sunday morning.
nope.
Send that DM.
I will get back to you eventually. I promise.
Yeah. Reasonable.
No,
Reasonable turnaround.
Yeah.
time.
Yes, for sure. So yeah, so that's good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Thanks
my
for being
voice
on the show.
stayed the whole time.
It did.
You crushed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You went in
thanks.
here.
It's all
This
that
is like
honey
your
in this
flu
tea.
game. This
Yeah.
is like your Jordan flu game.
Yeah. I thought about
rise
that
up.
The
actually.
flu.
This is your flu game.
I actually thought about that last night in my state of delirium. I was like, man, I gotta go do this podcast. And it's like that 1:30 for 30 that I saw when he had the flu. And it's very comparable. This is very
It is.
comparable.
I
It
would.
was a
Yeah,
gaunt-
I would.
it was a
pretty
gauntlet
much-
here
I'm
today.
totally Michael Jordan right
Pretty
now.
much neck. and
Game
neck.
6,
Right.
NBA Finals,
You know.
Wasted Local Talent Podcast.
Podcast in Fairmont, West Virginia. Yes, totally the same.
They definitely line up.
Yeah.
In terms
but,
of importance.
no, but I appreciate you guys having me. It was fun.
Absolutely. Thank
I'm
you for
glad
being
I
on.
made it. Yeah.
All right. Until next time.
Adios.
Cuts